real life, a world with limited mobility is an interactive virtual reality experience featuring a series of simple and common tasks that are completed from the perspective of a wheelchair user. The sole aim of the project is for users to cultivate compassion for wheelchair users and to understand their daily struggles. We also want our immersers to really realize the significance of having accessibility features within our city. The goal is to create an impactful experience for our users so that there is an increased connection and compassion towards people with disabilities. This is achieved by creating an immersive and familiar virtual environment. For this project, a coffee shop was our environment of choice because it provides most of the common obstacles an average wheelchair user has encountered. Some of the obstacles we wanted to bring awareness to include reaching for objects that are out of reach, maneuvering through tight and crowded spaces, and needing accessibility features like a ramp to move around more easily.
What? Where did the ramp go?
The difference between our experience and a non-virtual reality wheelchair simulation is that our virtual experience incorporates a transformative framework that engages and immerses the user. Using this framework, our goal is to cause a shift in cognitive dissonance that results from the user trying to match the virtual experience with their perception of reality. Another major element that VR allows us to do is to keep our immersers feeling like they are stuck to the wheelchair and limit what they are able to test out. An example of this is when the ramp disappears and the immersant is unable to roll down the stairs with the wheelchair. As part of our user goal, we want users to experience the complexity of performing simple tasks, the frustrations attached to limited accessibility features, as well as the hardship and struggles of using a wheelchair as a mode of transportation. Although the aforementioned events are considered simple and may seem insignificant to non-wheelchair users, to create an immersive environment, these experiences will be emphasized. In addition, the pre-VR experience will be a replica of the opening scene in the virtual environment, which consists of the wheelchair, scented coffee candles, and backdrops of the virtual environment. We have decided to keep the pre-VR physical scene in our VR experience to give the immersant a chance to compare and contrast the perspective of their character before and after being confined to a wheelchair. The reason of keeping this scene is for them to notice a difference in perspective when they are walking, as they will be able to move around more quickly and see things from a taller point of view in comparison to when they are in a wheelchair, which will move around more slowly and the point of view will be from a shorter angle. Using head-mounted displays, we will provide users the unique experience of a wheelchair-bound life, which is an encounter they typically do not have access to. Our environment was purposefully designed to meet our desired user experience and overall project goal. There are a few key moments that helped achieve our objective. One key moment which was revealed during our user testing phase occurred when the non-player characters were a lot taller than the user, who was in a wheelchair. This was a significant moment, especially for users who are tall and not used to their view of the world from this perspective. Similarly, the placement of the bell used to get the attention of the barista plays a significant role in making the user understand how simple tasks become tedious and strenuous for wheelchair users. We also made sure to make the coffee shop a little crowded near the front where the immersant would place their order and the space between each table a little tight in case the immersant wanted to try grabbing a seat somewhere. The goal here is to show how difficult it is to navigate crowded spaces, especially spaces that are not designed with wheelchair accessibility in mind. Another important moment occurred when a non-player character was able to use the stairs to leave the coffee shop, while the immersant was left perplexed and unable to leave the coffee shop since the ramp that was previously used is no longer available. At At the end of the experience, our participants were impacted and felt that they were more aware of the obstacles that wheelchair users face and what their perspective may feel like. From the feedback that we received, participants confirmed that the height of the counter, as well as the interactions leading up to the despairing ramp, were impactful moments in the experience. For the project, we used a linear narrative and 3 immersive processes to guide participants in achieving our desired experience. As a non-disruptive method of guiding participants, inner dialogue is used as a narrative tool to steer users towards the objectives of user experience.
Hey, isn't that the new coffee shop Robert has been talking about? Guess I'll go grab myself a cup right now.
Our imaginative immersion comes from the wheelchair and interactions with the barista. For sensory immersion, we used ambient music that would fit the coffee shop environment and will use coffee-scented candles in our physical setup. Our challenge-based immersion comes from the obstacles such as ringing the out-of-reach service bell, grabbing the coffee, moving around tight spaces between tables, and the despairing ramp. By experiencing the difficulty of doing simple tasks that they can normally do with ease, users would develop compassion and be more understanding towards the mobility impaired.